Yeah. Excuse me. All right.
You start the video too?
I started the video, dick face. Cheers. Cheers, everyone out there. Get your drink. Did you get that pomegranate penis flavored like Big Gulp again?
Yep.
Super Big Gulp, huh? How much sugar is in that fucking thing?
0.
Bullshit.
0.
Just because they tell you it's 0 doesn't mean it's actually 0.
Well, you can pretty much bet it doesn't have any.
I don't know. I don't know about all that. How was your 4th? How was
It was awesome.
NC?
North Carolina was nice. Got up there, spent the 4th of July watching the entire season of Stranger Things with our boy Zach.
Yeah, happy birthday, Zach.
Whose voice is cracked.
Oh, snap, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
man.
all a deep voice now, Zach.
Did you, wait, was it cracking? Like
No. Well,
it
it would crack a little bit, but it was
Right.
mostly deep.
With the,
I have video of it.
You get the
No, there wasn't any he's yet. I mean, there was throughout the weekend, but I didn't get that on video.
Do you remember when you were going through that?
No.
You don't remember that?
Nope, not at all.
I remember it. I remember I had like, it was always at like the weirdest times, but it didn't last that long. It only lasted like, I would say like maybe a week. But I remember it was just like, it was really, really random, like the day that my voice dropped.
Well, Tom said it happened within the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So, you know.
No, I remember like just, it went from like, yeah, man, to like, I woke up one morning like, hey, how's it going? Like, holy shit, what the hell happened to me? And then it would randomly crack in. It would only really like, it would come out if I was like hyper or I was trying to talk and like laughing, then like I would get the weird vocal jumps like that. But other than that, no.
Yeah, I don't remember getting the weird vocal jumps. But as weird as this sounds, I'm really not a big talker. So, like, I don't talk a lot. So, like,
I don't know if I believe that.
it's a true story.
But whichever. So we just watch TV and just sat around?
I used to play outside a lot at that age.
No, I'm talking about over the weekend, dum-dum.
Yes.
When'd you get back? You got back Sunday.
I got back Sunday. So Saturday, so yeah, that was 4th. I got up there at 10 a.m. on the 4th. And then Saturday, we just hung around the house, went and took Jackson to his speed coach. It was cool, you know, just a normal weekend. We didn't even go out anywhere, you know, we just...
Yeah, but it's so nice up there. You don't want to leave. I honestly, like, when I went up there, I don't like leaving that house. That house is so nice.
Played video games, played a lot of video games.
What video games did you play? Did you finally play Red Dead Redemption?
No, I've played it there a lot. I played it there in at the Christmas time, but no, we played Call of Duty Zombies and
Nice.
Mortal Kombat.
Nice. The new one?
Yeah, the new one.
I actually just the other day bought the PlayStation VR thing. You got to try it out.
Well, here's the thing. What I don't like what's cool and what's not cool about what made the first Mortal Kombat cool is like they were like pictures of people fighting, like they were actual people, and now it's
cinematic,
all now it's all you know CGI.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure if they had the technology to do it the way they're doing it now, they would have.
Yeah, but I think I liked it better when it was people.
I think you just like that kind of style of games, like cinematography. That was like the very beginning.
Because I tell you, you're right. Because I really liked the game 13.
13 was a great game.
That was basically it looked like it was shot
as a cartoon,
as a video that they drew over.
It looked more like a comic
like
book
a Scanner
strip.
Darkly.
Yeah. No. I played that last year. Actually, funny enough, you bring it up on the YouTube channel. There's video of me playing it, like, because when I was doing the Twitch thing, that was one of the first games I played, and I was doing live streaming of me playing 13. It's funny. I totally forgot about that.
It's a great game.
It is.
I always expected them to come out with another.
They were going to. They were going to come out with a sequel because there was a sequel to the story, I think, and then it just dropped. Me, on the other hand, I went. Or no, what I was going to tell you is I got the PlayStation VR, and I downloaded. I don't think you ever got to play it. Super Hot. You got to play this.
Oh, of course. I play Super Hot up with the boys.
Did you play in virtual reality or you just played it?
No.
Dude.
Well, virtual reality is weird, but that game's weird as it is. It's like I can only kill, like, the most I've ever killed on that game was like 7 guys or something like that.
No, you gotta come try it out with the headset on and everything.
Is it easier?
It is and it isn't. Like, it's definitely more taxing on the body because you got to move. All right, so for those of you that don't know, Super Hot is a game that you can either download on Steam or you can get it on PlayStation. You have to have the virtual reality headset on to really get the full gist of it. And you have the controllers. I think you can get yeah, if you get it on Steam, you can use the Oculus Rift for it. Anyway, it's basically like the Matrix. So you're in like an all-white like area. Everything is white, but you can tell like there's a pool table and stuff like that. And then the bad guys are these bright red characters. And the thing is they move at the speed that you move. So if you don't move at all, they don't move. But if you start to slowly like twist your head, then they start to move. And then you see there's a gun on the table and you got to grab it and then shoot them. As you're reaching for the gun, they're raising their gun. So
I like catching the gun out of the air.
Yeah.
I like the samurai sword the best.
Yeah, where you just grab it, like, but you can throw it and stuff. It's really cool. If you ever get a chance to play it, I definitely suggest you play it. The funny part is when I was playing it, you know, you always see the YouTube videos where the guys like fuck up and they end up falling off the chair or they end up eating shit like leaning forward when they have the goggles on. I was this close to doing it. I was this close. As much shit as I talked, for whatever reason, when I was playing the game...
Did you film it?
No. It jumped. Like, for whatever reason, the video just jumped, and it completely threw off my equilibrium. I just, like, jolted, and I ended up grabbing something to hold myself up. Luckily, like, the table was right there. But I almost ate shit so hard. But the game is worth it. Last week, actually, remember I was telling you, I ended up going up to Orlando. I was basically working nonstop. I got to Orlando perfectly in time to get to Kasai, the first match at Kasai, which, by the way, had to be hands down the most stacked card in Jiu-Jitsu that I've seen in person. Like, short of going to Worlds or something like that, this card was stacked with talent. The entire room was basically a who's who of killers in fucking, I would say, the East Coast Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
For sure. East Coast Jiu-Jitsu was who's
what's name was there too? Wasn't Richie
and Boogeyman? Like,
they were there. They're West Coast.
Yeah, they were West Coast. Kenny Florian was doing commentary.
Florian.
Rodolfo Vieira was there. Shout out to Ricardo Mendolia. He was there too. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Went up and said what's up to him. Gilbert, Wagner, Joao was there. Craig Jones, Tex Johnson, Tubby
Meow?
Yeah, Meow.
Was he in it?
No, but he's like, that's a total side thing. He's actually going to be at Substars on the 19th. Tubby Santana was there. Obviously, all the other competitors. I'm telling you, it was just one person after the other. Like, Yuri was there. Fuck, who else was there? Like, I'm trying to remember, like, all these names. I was literally everywhere there I looked. It's like fucking... just the who's who. The only person that wasn't there, that I was surprised wasn't there, was Cyborg. I'm like, how is Cyborg not here? But everybody was fucking in there. Everybody who's anybody on the East Coast. Dylan Dennis was there. It totally threw me off. I was like, that fucking guy looks a lot like Dylan Dennis. Then I realized, oh, it's fucking Dylan Dennis. Yeah, a bunch of people were fucking there, man. I was really, really surprised. But everybody was super cool. Very chill vibe. Then the next day, Friday... went straight to Glory Kickboxing, which, by the way, fucking amazing show.
Where was that at?
That was at the Silver Spurs Arena, same arena where they're doing the IBJJF Open, Orlando.
Okay.
Same, very same arena. Excuse me. The stage setup, everything, the ring, awesome show setup. So much fucking fun. Because I was actually surprised.
Were you shooting it or?
Yeah, I was shooting it. I was shooting both events. The Glory, I got a little bit of a leeway. Shout out to Ryan Loco and James Law for hooking me up and letting me in. I kind of got a little bit of a carte blanche, if you will, where it was all the other photographers weren't allowed to run around. I was kind of given the free pass to get to go run around and take any photos that I wanted. Which is cool because I actually have a lot of really fucking dope photos that they're going to go out. They got to go to Glory first. I'm going to try and snag a couple. I already posted one or two the other day. I'm just not allowed to really kind of go all out with it. Kasai ones I still have to post. I have a lot of fucking photos. A lot. And I have a lot of really good photos. And I usually don't say that. But yeah, I was kind of given the free card to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do and take every photo that I wanted. Which is fun because, I mean, you got photographers row and everyone's got the exact same fucking photo. It bores the shit out of me. Got to hang out with my boy Rolling Into Punches from Orlando. If you follow him on Instagram, Rolling Into Punches, he's probably one of the only other ones in Florida like me that kind of ends up at almost every event taking photos. Super cool dude. It's funny because we ran into each other at Kasai. Also met a new photographer. He's not really new, but first time I met him, Mallory Woods. So shout out to him. Get this. So at Kasai, we had this one room. It's pretty packed. And then I met this other photographer, Mallory, and he's like, "Oh, we're next door." They were doing the karate like tournaments that you always see on ESPN, and he was shooting that one. So the ones where they do like the board breaks and all that other crazy stuff. You never seen it?
No.
You've never seen it on ESPN every year where they have the people with the bow staff and they do all the crazy fancy
Well,
shit?
I know I've seen those like on YouTube, but I've never seen it on TV.
Well, no, they do it every year. They have ESPN as like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, and they scream really loud when they do everything.
Right. And but they were shooting next door, and that was actually his gig. I didn't get to stop by, so my apologies. I just didn't have time to stop by and check it out. But I always wanted to go check it out. It was next door. It was pretty cool. But Glory was fun, man. Met Mallory there, and me, and Rolling Into Punches. Like, we're out there, like, just taking photos. But I got to go run around in the back, and Shawn Soriano, Diop fought that night. He was one of the first people.
Who did?
You never met him. Diop. He's a young kid. Dude was a fucking beast. If you can go back and watch the Glory 67 card, watch one of the, I'm pretty sure it was the first fight of the night. Dude just picked apart the other guy. It was a great match. No, second fight. I'm sorry. First fight was Roger Crawl. But it was cool, man.
Not Roger
Crawl.
Yeah, but it wasn't him.
Not Roger Crawl. His son.
His son.
No, I was not.
Not Is it Jordan Crawl?
No. It might be. But he's the same kid that fought at XFN.
How did he do?
He won. He won by decision. It was a bit of a controversial decision. The other guy kind of caught him in the nuts a couple of times, so they finally deducted a point. So it was a close match. It could have gone either way, truthfully.
Even with the point taken away?
No, if they hadn't taken the point away, it would have gone to the other guy. But I think the point deduction kind of steered the judges more towards Crawl. But it was a good night of fights, man. There was a lot of good ones. And then the last guy is a Thai guy. I can't even pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try.
Chukapakabuko?
No, that just ignorant way of trying it. But dude was just picking him apart. He was just picking him apart. It was a good match. It was very, like, if they would have allowed more knees in the clinch and more of a Thai style, it would have been insane. This guy would have put on a clinic, but it was a good match.
You're not allowed to throw knees in Glory or elbows. Which is it?
You're not allowed to throw elbows. You can throw knees in the clinch, but they got to be
3 seconds?
instant. Yeah, you have to throw in a knee as soon as you clinch, otherwise they break you up. Because they break you up, so you have to be active in the clinch. Asa Tempao just fucking picked the other guy apart. It was pretty crazy to watch, the skill level, but that was fun, man. And then the kicker, the fucking kicker of the whole weekend, and I didn't tell you this, but I got a behind the scenes tour of LegoLand. It was so fucking nuts, man.
I thought you had to have a kid with you to go to LegoLand.
Only on certain rides, it turns out. There's certain, not even. They allow you to go in there without a kid. There's certain rides that you have to have a kid. Other rides, like, you can't have 2 adults. Other rides are just strictly for kids. There's one ride that I would have fucking killed to go on. You would have fucking loved it too. But it was only for kids 4 to 12. And 4 to 12 or 4 to 8?
Well, what if I identify as a 12-year-old?
They wouldn't have let you. You wouldn't have been able to get on anyway. Because it was so small.
But what is it? What's the ride?
It's called a joust. So they have a little track that goes around like an old Renaissance festival looking like scenery, and it's a horse that like teeters back and forth, and it has the joust like spear on there, and you just ride it around, and it's like you're jousting, and there's like different little targets. You don't actually get to hit it, but it looks so much fun. They actually have a couple of cool rides. They're short, but they have some really cool rides. I got to test out one of their newest rides, got to cut the lines. They actually took me to the master builder area in the back workshop area. Fucking insane, man. Every single Lego piece that is created
In boxes and boxes and
is in there, and it's like it looks like a tool shop. Like if you were walking into like a parts store, it's racks and racks and racks and racks of
all color coded.
Everything, every tiny little piece they had there, even pieces like the unorthodox pieces and stuff that they have. So I actually forgot to bring it, but they let me build my own little Lego person. So they had all the different people like pieces. So I built a little Viking. So I have a cool little Viking with a cup and an axe. But it was nuts, man. Like you walk around the back close to the master builder section, boxes and boxes. It's like they don't even give a shit. They just put them there. They're like under the rain. It was literally pouring. It was under the rain. Boxes of fucking Lego pieces. They're just like, fuck it. So here's the kicker. So you haven't been there. I'll show you some photos. You've never been there, right?
No.
So when you walk in and you head to the right, they have just different sceneries all built together. So they have Las Vegas, they have New York, they have Key West, St. Augustine. They have all this other stuff. And if you go further back, they have Star Wars. So they have like a Darth Maul. They have a life-size Chewbacca. It's pretty crazy. What I found out is if you look through all the different scenes, like the different city scenes, like New York and stuff like that, they have tiny little Easter eggs that the builders put in there. And every once in a while they have to change them out. So that I found out there's a lot of like secret stuff that people don't realize. So if you go into New York, you look, and they got like the Blues Brothers there. And then at one point, they actually have the fire station from Ghostbusters.
Uh-huh.
And then like they used to have the Ghostbusters thing there. At one point they had like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man built in there. Supposedly there's a Waldo that gets moved around. I don't know. You don't know about the game Fallout, but in Las Vegas they have like
I played Fallout.
Fallout 4.
Not 4.
Well, Fallout 4, like Las Vegas, or whatever. The characters. Someone put a little character in the Las Vegas section. Trying to think of all the other ones, but there's a bunch of cool little Easter eggs. So if I would have known, I would have stayed there longer. But if anybody goes to LegoLand, like, go check it out and just scope out. There's a lot of hidden different ones.
How big is like New York?
It's pretty big, man. I would say that the whole New York section is probably twice the size of the studio room, and like the actual like the Empire State Building has to be like a good, I don't know, 8 feet tall, 8 feet, 9 feet tall. It's pretty cool. The rides are fun. Obviously, it's aimed more for kids. Oh, here's the fucking thing. Here's the kicker, and it's fucking genius, too. So, in that whole section, they have, like, the characters that are built that are, like, around there. They're called mini-landers. So, you can actually go to I guess, one of the little, like, offices or whatever. There's, like, a store or an area, whatever you want to call it, where you can build your own mini-lander. You build your own character. And if you want, you can keep them. If you don't want them, and it's good enough, they'll take it and actually use it in the display. So they actually keep the piece that you make and it can go out there. So they're basically getting free labor. So you go in there, you're fucking around with Legos, like, oh, I'm not going to buy this. It's going to cost me $10, $12. So all right, here, you guys want to take it? Well, thanks. You just saved us like an hour's worth of work. So all these different characters are built by like random people, which is kind of cool, but it's also a nice little scam. They're like, ah. But listen, New Rides was cool. It was really, really awesome. The water park was all right. It was fun, but we got rained out.
What water park?
There's a water park. There's a Lego water park.
In LegoLand?
Yeah. You go towards the back and there's a little water park.
Like with water slides?
Yeah. And they have a lazy river, and the tubes that you get to sit on actually have a little like Lego piece put on top, and there's random Lego pieces floating around the thing you can pick up and build your own little Lego structure.
So weird.
It's awkward, it's different for sure, But I had a fucking blast, man. I had a
Is
blast.
that the only LegoLand, or is there
No,
more
no, there's a
ones?
bunch. There's a bunch. There's one in like Japan. I think they're building one in New York. They have the one in Deutschland. They have them all over the place. But it was fun, man. I had a fucking blast. Kasai, did you watch it all?
No.
Go back and watch them. Go back and watch them. There are a lot of pretty good matches in there. Mike Perry showed up. I had no clue, but Mike Perry
Well,
was
he's an Orlando guy.
right. He lives in Orlando, but in all honesty, like, and he fought Gi. They put him in a Gi match.
Oh, he was on
yes,
Kasai?
he was on the card. I didn't know either. I think he was like a last minute replacement.
What rank is he?
His belt said purple. His action said mid-level blue. I'm gonna be very honest. I was really, really surprised at the coaching that they had to do for him. Obviously,
Well,
he has good wrestling.
Well, here's the thing. What I tell whenever I have a guy that's done MMA comes into the school, I tell my guys, look, MMA jiu-jitsu is different from sport jiu-jitsu that we do, or even self-defense jiu-jitsu. It's harder, it's faster, and it's more basic. But what they do, what they learn very well, and they do it very hard and very explosive. So if you get caught with something, you need to either figure out how to get out split second, or you need to tap quick.
You're talking about for the MMA guys, or someone rolling with the MMA
somebody
guys?
rolling with the MMA guys.
Yeah.
Because the MMA jiu-jitsu is a little bit different. You could be...
You're going for the kill.
You're going for the kill
You're not-
every time.
Yeah.
And you have to go for it quick.
Right. So here's the thing, though. Obviously, if it was no gi, he probably would have done a lot better. But in the gi, like, I was really kind of like surprised that the coaching that they were doing, like, they had to like remind him, like, I literally heard posture up. This is gi. This isn't no gi. Like, it's not MMA. Like, posture up. So like he took the guy down, like in a very like sloppy like takedown, but he still got it. And it was just, he won by points, and it was literally off of the takedown. But I don't think he had any. He didn't really have any kind of submission game attempts. Really, it's like he didn't. I don't think
Did he pass the guard?
I'm trying to remember if he passed the guard or not. I think
But look,
he
here's
might
the
have.
thing. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy, number one. Number two...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not, for what I saw, he wasn't purple belt level.
Right.
Not for competition.
But he's not a jiu-jitsu guy. And I'm sure he doesn't train jiu-jitsu.
Well,
I'm sure he trains...
That's not true, because remember with the cowboy fight, they talked about it.
No, what I'm saying is he doesn't train the sport of jiu-jitsu in the gi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anything else is not jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
If you're doing jiu-jitsu outside of the gi, you're not doing jiu-jitsu. You're doing
Grappling.
You're either doing submission wrestling, or catch you can
Even then, it's not. I don't think there's many people that are really doing
catch wrestling. But
yeah.
what I'm saying is, it's not jiu-jitsu.
I would love to sit there and do like 2 or 3 months just studying catch wrestling.
Oh, of course.
Like, just to see, like, to really understand the flow of it, and like,
Well, I don't know if
everything
there
that's
actually is a flow to catch wrestling.
Yeah, there is.
I think I honestly don't know, because it's like, from what I've learned about catch wrestling, is it's basically find a joint and try to turn it the way it doesn't go.
Right. But I think there's still a system behind it of like, there's this going from here, like chaining it one to the other, you know?
Well, yeah, when I was doing pro wrestling, because for a while there they called pro wrestling catch as catch can.
Yeah.
And
they had its own genre too, though.
But what it was is, we had chain wrestling that went from one to the next, one technique to the next technique to the next, like.
Yeah.
And of course, it wasn't trying to rip each other's arms off, but there was a flow to it that you had to do, and
Right.
that made sense, logical sense. I don't know if that was actually taken from real catch wrestling, but it was you know, it worked for pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is where, you know, that derived from catch. So I don't know. There might be a system.
I mean, I think so. I think there is, but I also think that there's some stuff that's so creative in catch wrestling that there's not a real way to instruct it in a systematic way.
Well, again, I don't know if it's so much creative as it is just destructive.
No, it's definitely creative because if you look at some of the stuff that Sakuraba shows, there's definitely a lot of creativity to it. I think Barnett is more of a kind of whatever is there, but I think Sakuraba's got a lot more of the flow to it on like a almost systematic base.
Yeah, but they've both trained jiu-jitsu as well, so it's like,
yeah, but
it's hard. It's, you know, it's hard to go with a pure catch guy like Billy Robinson.
Yeah.
Billy Robinson was a pure catch wrestler, so it's like, you know, it's funny as I know these guys and I know their names from the pro wrestling world.
Yeah.
But
did you ever wrestle against like a catch wrestler like that?
When I was a pro wrestler, no.
Would they ever do like, let's say if they weren't what did you call it? They weren't going by
business?
the script. Yeah, they weren't doing business. Like, would they pull some random like wrist lock or something? Just
Not
to be
with
like,
me.
Well, not with you, but I'm saying like.
Well, it
guys
was
do
called
that.
shooting. Like if somebody, my eyes are watering or not watering, but got real dry all of a sudden. But it was called if guys started just going into it's called going into business for himself,
Right.
or shooting.
Yeah.
He would shoot on if someone shot on you. It was
Taking a shot at you.
it was like he went at you legit. So I've seen people get shot on, and you know, and it's normally when somebody screws up. Like because here's the thing with pro wrestling, you're literally taking your lives into each other's hands.
You have to have that.
So
trust.
you have to have that trust. And if somebody if they mess up once, that's an accident. If they mess up twice, they mess up 3 times, they're reckless or they're trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
One or the other. So that's when it's time for them to learn a lesson. And so it happened. It's you know, I've seen it. I've seen people jump from the ring into the mat and or jump from the crowd into the ring and get choked out. You know,
Like, what do you mean?
like a fan tried to jump in the ring and he ended up getting choked out
But why did the fan jump in
because he got angry.
at the guy that was shooting?
No, just at the guy that was in the ring. They weren't shooting in the ring. But I've
So
seen
some random asshole. Well, I mean, I've seen those. Like, it's happened in WWE too.
yeah, but
But let's say, what is there a match that people don't realize that it turned legitimate, where it turned to where someone was shooting or someone wasn't doing business?
let's see. There's a few famous ones that are out there. One of the
Hulk Hogan had one, didn't he?
No. Hogan never had one. But there's a few famous one. Antonio Inoki, who ran, I think is it All Japan or New Japan? He's one of the big names. He's the guy that fought Muhammad Ali.
Oh, the big dude. Yeah.
Yeah. He had one against the great Santini, some dude literally looked like a troll. And the dude like wasn't selling any of Inoki's stuff. Like Inoki would hit him and he would just like act like it didn't hurt him. So Inoki beat the living shit out of him. Left him lying on the ground with a bloody nose. You can find it on YouTube. That was a great one. There was one where who was it? It was like an old wrestling, and this dude just I can't remember who it was, but it was like I could see the ring, and it was like not a lot of people there.
Right.
So it was like a TV taping. But you can look them up on YouTube. They're great.
And it's like, I think I know what you're talking about. There was one where it's like it's not a lot of people. It almost looks like under a circus overhang or something.
Some like
a circus tent, right?
Yeah.
I remember. I think there was one with like Jake the Snake or something.
Well, yeah. There was also one. I tell you what, the one of the scariest was what. So there was a guy from ECW. His name was New Jack.
Yeah.
I actually wrestled with his tag team partner Mustafa in Puerto Rico. Mustafa was super cool. New Jack and I, we wrestled on a few cards together. Him and I were cool. We didn't,
Yeah.
But he has a reputation in the business as, But him and I never had a problem with him whatsoever. But he beat the ever loving shit out of this one guy named Mass Transit, and then him and Gypsy Joe was an old timer, and they went at it. It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was.
But
brutal.
is it one of those ones where it's like the crowd knew, like, oh shit, they're going at it for real?
I have no idea. I have no idea if they knew it was. But see, here's the thing.
But what happens with the commentators, like when people go off script like that?
Well,
because there's nothing really scripted.
Well, a lot of these are small shows, so they don't have commentators.
Right.
Oh, unless they're being filmed,
But there's no WWE one that turned real that you can think of?
Not that I can think of.
Someone's probably listening right now. You fucking idiot! You don't know.
Yeah, but again, I stopped watching wrestling years ago.
Yeah.
When I got out of it, I basically stopped watching it. I had no need to watch it.
I still, on my bucket list, want to go check out like Monday Night Raw or something like that. Like watch a real one in person. Like I wish I would have gotten to see The Rock in person. Like that would have been cool.
I wrestled with The Rock.
No, I know, but I'm saying like live on Monday night.
Yeah.
Like just see like.
Well, the cool thing was the last time I went up for the tryout with WWE, this was like 2005 or 2000. Well, I was 36, so that was 10 years ago. Right. So 2008, 2007, 2008. Right. Last time I went up there, I think that wasn't the last time I went up there. That was the last time they called. I was 36, so I was 30. So yes, 2007, and it was right. Basically, it was the Bella Twins were just getting there. Sheamus was just getting there. Like we all changed. Yeah, we all changed in the same locker. Like we were like the scrubs.
Right.
And I was in the room with them, and everybody was cool. Yeah. But it was the year. The last time I was up there was the year that Ric Flair retired.
Right.
And it was the day after WrestleMania.
What route do you think that would have made you go on if you got in? And
if I would have gotten signed, I have no idea. I don't know if I ever would have made it. They wanted to sign. What I was told was they really wanted to sign me.
Right.
But
what route do you think they would have gone with you?
I don't know. I was terrible on the mic, so I don't know.
That's
really
something
don't
you can
know.
kind of learn. Look, if
you could kind of. No, he was a natural. There's some people who are just naturals, and I think I could have gotten natural because I'm getting better and better. The more I'm on the mic, the more
Yeah, but they also would have given you classes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you would have had more.
Well, the performance center wasn't around then.
No, but you still would have gotten like some kind of education.
Yeah, I'm sure, but like I
think they probably would have.
By that time, I was already in wrestling 12 years.
They probably would have like billed you as like Big Bad Vader's son or something.
No, that guy's son already does wrestle.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would have billed me as, but like I'm weird because
could have been like Goldust Jr.
I'm a weird size because I'm like not a giant
like they are,
like some of them, but I'm not a small guy either. I'm like this in between.
You could have been like what's the one from the X-Men, Puck, the little Puck guy.
No, I'm not that short. I'm bigger than I was, just as big or bigger than a lot of the guys up there, but I wasn't a giant. Like watching.
They would have like thrown you up against fucking
meeting the giant and shaking his hand.
Stone Cold wasn't that big, right? Other than
he's
the juice.
6'2", like he's 6'2", 240. He's not a small dude.
He's not small by any means.
What's his name? The Great Khali. That dude was huge. Rikishi, I don't think I met him.
Rikishi was massive. You know who was fucking big? Total side note. Fucking Craig Jones is fucking big, man.
He's tall, right?
He's not even tall. Like, yeah, he's tall. He's like my height. But he's fucking jacked. He does look like he skips a couple of leg days here and there. But he's fucking big, dude. Like, I was surprised. I'm like, damn, you're fucking big. Tex Johnson's kind of big, too. But, like, I was really surprised how big.
What weight does he...
Who, Craig?
Yeah,
he had to be walking around at 225. He had to be walking around 225, 230. So what happened, if you didn't watch what happened at Kasai, Tex Johnson and Craig Jones had their rematch. I think this was the third match that they had. Second or third. Because Craig won the first one, lost the second one, and this was going to be the rubber match.
Which I don't know why they call it a rubber match.
Because it's like you're bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, but it seems like the rubber match is the end of the.
Yeah,
so I don't know,
because it's not a rubber match on the second one. Tex actually caught Craig at the very beginning. He caught him like pretty good at the beginning, and it was like somehow Craig with a heel hook, and like he almost got caught. Like he was definitely pretty close. Got out, turned around. By the way, you need to watch it because it was a really great back take. It went from a heel hook to a back take, semi back take, to like an armbar and stuff like that, like to a triangle kind of setup. It was really cool to see how he set it up, and came back and won. He's like, "How's your knee?" He's like, "Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. I was hoping I wasn't gonna get hurt because I got to compete on Sunday," and he competed against AJ on Sunday at the Submission Underground 9. Submitted AJ in 47 seconds, something crazy like that. Yeah,
probably pull guard.
No, AJ was trying to go for like side control, and I think he was in a half guard, and Craig scooped in under, set up the Ashigarami, and went straight for the heel hook. AJ did not even try to defend it. He's like, "You got me, you got me." Like, you could tell it was quick, which I don't blame AJ. I probably would have done the same thing.
Which again, I told you what what Rashad told me a couple weeks ago.
Oh, why he's like doing it?
No. Rashad was like, it doesn't make sense that he's doing this grappling match. Because the reason he quit MMA...
Because he hated rolling
because he hated grappling.
Yeah.
And here he was doing a grappling match.
He made a post saying that he had fun and, like, fuck everybody. Like, I lost, but I still had a blast. He's like, no, I'm not going to go back into fighting. So it looks like AJ had fun, man. Listen, I'm a fan of his. He's a friend of mine. I think more power to him. I'd love to see him actually get into it and go for it. I doubt that he will. He might take another one or something if he does the Substars in Miami next week, but I doubt he'll do another one anytime soon. But man, no, I was really surprised how fucking big. And the funniest part is if you watch the replay, so the match before Craig Jones, I forget who it was. I think it was Jay-Z. The match before, like, match is over, blah blah blah. Everybody goes, and they're announcing the next match. All of a sudden you hear from the back, loud. It sounded fucking like animalistic. It was loud. You can hear like, everyone fucking stops. Like, what the fuck was that? And then everybody starts laughing. You realize it's fucking Craig Jones, like, just hyping himself up in the back. He let out a fucking just primordial scream in the back. It's like, yo, there's a fucking gorilla back there for sure. That shit was fucking hilarious. I'm sure it got picked up. My only gripe was with the commentator. He kept on messing up people's names. He messed up Baby Monster's name, which if you're going to be an announcer for Jiu-Jitsu guys, at least like learn.
What did he call him?
He called him
Valdir, but he didn't call him by his name.
He called him like Valdir Araujo, BB Monster, like it's Baby Monster.
It's Baby Monster.
Yeah.
But I get that. I can understand where that would confuse somebody because he spells it with two B's. BB.
Yeah. He's going with like the 90s leet speak kind of setup. But no, look, man, Kasai did an awesome fucking setup. It was an awesome fucking card. And honestly, like, I think I like Fight to Win because they put on a show. There's a couple of things that I think Fight to Win needs to do better on. Kasai did an awesome fucking job. I think it's almost like the next level up. Just because it had better names. And it kind of strayed away from making it a glorified local tournament kind of thing, really.
Right. It brought in other names.
It brought in big names for a local card, which is like they're all local, like Enrico Coco, like Jay-Z, blah blah blah, whatever you name it.
They brought in local talent, but
then they sprinkled it in with like the big names,
right?
Which Fight to Win does too. But the difference is Fight to Win really is about the almost Pride kind of setup and intro with the music blast and blah blah blah. Kasai is intro to the show, boom, here it is, go, and then they have the big names and they let the people compete. Couple of bad calls by the refs, some weird stuff. Like for the most part, the refs did a good job.
Do we know the refs or?
I knew one of them, like not personally, but I knew who he was, and the other ones I've never seen before. But yeah, there's a lot of people back there, man. I was really surprised. It was a good card. It was a really really good card. I wish I could definitely go in and shoot those a lot more, because that one was pretty good. Other stuff that happened. Speaking of Dylan Dennis, did you see what happened Sunday?
No.
So Dylan Dennis was in Florida Thursday and took off. He got into a nightclub brawl in New York on Sunday. So from the article that I pulled up, the video obtained by the Daily Mail shows the incident from early Sunday morning at the Box, a burlesque club in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. In it, you see Dennis standing at a table when a man without a shirt jumps over a group of people to punch Dennis in the face. Dennis immediately attempts to retaliate with an open hand slap but falls to the ground. Screaming can be heard in the background as a brawl erupts. An unnamed eyewitness told the Daily Mail, "I was scared. It was vicious. Dylan was just sitting down relaxing and that shirtless guy with the yellow garland just attacked him." So the video is out there. If you go online, you can find it pretty easy.
Is there a story to it, do you know, or?
Nothing that I've seen so far. I'm sure that it was probably maybe somebody that Dylan said some shit to. But listen, like all the shit talking that we did, like and stuff, he seemed like a nice guy. He was cool with everybody. Took photos with people that came up, asked for a photo. It wasn't anybody he was posturing. What I thought was funny though is that obviously Gilbert was there, and Gilbert's called him out for saying he was the best grappler in MMA, but they shook hands, said what's up, and that was it. Like so, no beef,
dude. It's show business.
It is what it is, man. So that happened. So if you wanted to look up the video's there. Did you watch the UFC fights?
I saw the highlights.
So you didn't watch them?
No, I had to be up at
see-
5 in the morning to get an airplane on 7.
Yeah.
And Tom wasn't.
Trying to stay up there
Nope.
that late. Did you see Thiago Santos?
Yeah, the one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
So it's almost zero-legged man, because if you didn't know, Thiago Santos had surgery on his right knee, I think within the last year. So during the fight, his knee was basically there, like his leg was basically there because of his skin, because he tore every muscle in his knee.
Every single, MCL, PCL, LCL,
on Monday,
meniscus.
On Monday, an MRI exam showed that left knee meniscus and all its ligaments are completely torn. So ACL, PCL, MCL, LCL. So basically, the 4 major tendons that keep your knee in line and keep you stay there.
How did he stand?
That's what I'm telling you. It was most likely because the bone sits on top of bone anyway. So he switched to southpaw. So when you switch to southpaw, at least you get to be front leg heavy. So you can still throw because you're not doing too much on the back leg. As long as you pivot from your hip.
Yeah, but it still has to.
It still has to be there. Still has to hold some stuff.
And he threw power too.
And he threw power, and that's probably what saved John from really getting knocked out and really getting hurt.
Was it from one of the oblique kicks?
He took a kick and it just snapped. I think there's a video where you can see the leg just shift in and out. But listen, the man
didn't sell it.
He went 5 rounds on basically half a leg because that right knee was jacked up too. And
well, I everybody keeps saying that I've seen it both ways, that Santos won that fight. I've heard it that John Jones won the fight, but it was
I think it was just one of those things. It's that
They said if it wasn't John Jones would have lost the fight.
for sure. If you're gonna beat the champ, you have to beat the champ like very handedly for, especially someone like John Jones. I think this sets up for a great rematch for sure.
Dude,
but it's not gonna be. It's
not
gonna be
for a year.
A year. They're projecting Thiago to come back mid 2020, and that's if everything goes right. That's talking about multiple surgeries. Definitely a lot of PRP, stem cells, and a lot of stem cell like shots for sure. Go down to Costa Rica and get those fucking shots, man, or Puerto Rico, wherever it is.
Now, he's a local guy.
Yeah, no, he's ATT in Coconut Creek.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. I've met him before. He's a nice dude. He's a fucking animal though, like in there, but. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So I basically had my fucking fill of fighting for a day or two.
Did you see the interview that
Diego?
No, that Ben Askren did. With
Speaking of which, can we hold on? Can we
Harwani?
go? Was what? No, what did he say?
Dude, he's taking it like a champ.
Oh yeah, what did he say? He's like, well, if you do the math, like, I got paid $200,000 for 5 seconds worth of work, so I'm doing all right.
No, it wasn't even that. He was like, look, he goes, I knew it was going to happen someday. Yeah. And he goes, and he's talking about the hate that he's getting online. He goes, look, I've antagonized a lot of people over the last 10 years. I probably deserve this.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy that he finally got exposed for being not a real fucking fighter.
I will never say that. You shouldn't say that either.
Listen, man.
I wouldn't say he's not a real fucking fighter because he has undefeated up until this point.
We made this argument. I've made the argument of why he's overrated.
I didn't say he's not overrated. I'm just saying you can't say he's not a real fighter. When he's
a very, very good wrestler who can control somebody else.
Saturday night when he put his head down.
It's stupid. Yeah, it's like Burr. Like, the only thing that you could have sold me on is if he was trying to be slick and he was trying to duck under the jump.
Well, that's you know what it was is that's what I think it was he was trying to avoid damage. I think he was expecting
a flying kick,
or a flying punch of some kind, and so I think he was trying to avoid damage on his way in, and he just did not.
No, I really think that he thought Masvidal was going to charge in with a punch, and he was trying to time it to go straight in for the shot. That's what it looked like to me. It was what he was going to do. But the funny part is, if you see the video, 2 days before, Masvidal was drilling it. The same thing. It's like Conor. When right before the fight, he was drilling the exact same thing that happened. Same thing was Masvidal. Same exact motion. Did you see it?
No.
There's a video, Coach Mike Brown posted it up, where he's standing there at the outer ring, and then he just skips to the side, runs in, and hits the pad with a knee. 2 days before the fight. Exact same played out. Note for note exactly what happened. What I think is the funniest out of the whole thing is that Masvidal went straight high school fight at lunchtime. He sat there. They, looked at each other. He came back. He's like, all right, talk shit. Put his hands behind his back and just bounced on the fence. And all I could think of is fuck, how many fights did I see in high school that started off the same way, where the dude's just sitting up on the wall or he's on the fence. He's like, all right, keep talking, and then bam, same thing happened.
I would like to know what he said to him when he was talking
when he was down.
When he was down.
I'd love to fucking hear that. I hope that audio gets leaked out in the next couple of days.
And I liked what he said. He goes, I go, and Ben Askren still has to deal with me if
I see him at Whole Foods.
If I see him at Whole Foods, I'm going to smack the dude up.
And he's 100% right. Listen, I am the number one supporter of shit talkers. I love a good shit talker. Not that much for Ben Askren, but guys like Nick, Nate, and Connor and stuff like that. I love that shit talking. But I'm also on the other end of, if you talk shit, get hit. So Masvidal pointed it out. It's like, if you're going to talk, you're going to fucking get worked. 100%. I agree with you. I said it. I made the post about it the other day. I've been a fan of Masvidal, Street Jesus, but I heard. Did you see Stylebender's reaction?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh fuck!"
He called him Ghetto Jesus.
Yeah, but listen, that was such a solid fucking fight that it definitely puts him in a title contention shot. And what I really kind of realized that why Ben Askren got signed to begin with, it wasn't because the fans wanted it. It's because Dana White still fucking hates the guy so bad. He's like, you know what? You want to come back in? Come back in. I'll set you up. And he just wanted to do whatever he could to get rid of that undefeated mark on Ben Askren. He wanted to see him get fucking murked. Because think about it. Sage Northcutt got a pretty good fight for the beginning, right?
What do you mean? With one?
No. For the UFC. Who did he get for his first fight? It wasn't Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall was his second fight. Or no, that's CM Punk. He was babied, but everybody else knew he wasn't that good. He was a very athletic dude.
That front flip he does is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's like the fucking ninja flip. And that didn't really help him from getting fucking caught in the dome from Cosmo. But with Ben, it was kind of like Robbie Lawler on your first fight. He got lucky he got out of that one. And we all know he got out of that one because Herb Dean fucked up. So it's like, all right, cool. I'll give you Masvidal. Masvidal knocked out fucking Darren Till. It's going to take a solid punch to knock out Darren Till.
Here's what's interesting about that. So Masvidal wants a shot at the title.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good claim on that.
100%.
Here's the problem. Colby is like his best friend.
He don't care. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
He won't care. I don't think Dan Lambert cares either. I don't know how.
Colby might.
I don't think so. And that comes down to the coaches. Honestly, it'll come down to Pahompa and everybody else on how they want to do it. Like Pahompa and Cattell will sit there and talk and figure it out. And Conan, it really comes down to Conan. Conan is the one that makes all the calls in there with Pahompa and Cattell. So, and then at the end it goes down to Lambert. I don't see why they wouldn't, but didn't that happen with
That happened with Rashad and John Jones, and it broke them up.
No, it happened with Tyron Woodley. Who did he fight that was also ATT? He was supposed to fight Colby, and he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Robbie. Didn't he fight Robbie?
Yeah, he fought Robbie, and but Robbie wasn't ATT anymore.
No, Robbie was ATT when they fought.
Right. He still was.
Because it was just Tyron was up at his place in Missouri.
I interviewed him for that one. I interviewed Robbie when he was still ATT, and then the next time I saw him after that, he was at Hard Knocks.
And it was because of what they did to him after he lost that.
Yeah. The same thing happened with Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz had to deal with a lot of the same stuff too. A lot of people talk shit about him that he thought were his friends. So it was kind of crazy. But listen, anybody I ever dealt with at ATT is super nice, and same thing with everybody at Hard Knocks. I think I'm pretty open. If I don't like someone or if I have shit with someone, I fucking call them out on it. I don't really care. There's certain people that I won't work with, at all. I don't give a fuck how much you pay me. Fuck them. I'm not trying to do anything that would help that person's career.
Name names.
Trying to think. There's been a couple of parents and stuff that asked me for photos. I can't remember their names. There's been a couple of grapplers who reached out to me. They're like, oh, you charge way too much for photos. Bro, then fuck you then. If you don't like my work, then I don't want to be your photographer anyway. If you think I charge too much, then I'm not gonna work with you anyway. I can't remember anybody's names right now off the top of my head. I'm trying to picture their Instagram names, and it's not falling into place. Who was it? I got one where it was someone wanted me to photograph their tournament, and I told them, forget the price that I told them. It was super cheap because it was a last minute thing. I was like, whatever, fuck it, I'll do it. And they wrote back, oh, dude, that's too much. I'm like, how many people you have in your bracket? 4. Okay, so I might, or no, it's 7 or 8. So I might have to cover you for 4 matches. So I have to follow you for at least an hour, right? And then I have to make sure I cover you for every single one of those. So that right there is a certain amount of time out of my life. And then afterwards, I got to go edit all those photos. And then you want them within 24 hours, right? Yeah, okay, well then the price I gave you is pretty cheap considering the fact that we just tallied up that I'm going to be doing 18 hours worth of work within a 24-hour period. Like, so have at it, dude. Take off, have fun. Now you got 0 photos of your tournament. How do you like that?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't understand people that want photos of tournaments.
I mean, I do. I have maybe 3 or 4 photos of me competing. I'd love to have another photographer take photos of me while I do. There's not that many that I trust. There's like, I'll be honest, a lot of the jiu-jitsu photographers out there like are fucking garbage. Like, they're only like the handful of people that I like and that I'm friends with. Like, I'm friends with you. Like, and if I tell you I like your stuff, I like your stuff. But a lot of the people that go out there and take photos are fucking garbage. Like, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not it's like, I don't need, like, to me, I don't need a memory of that. The only thing I like is, like, pictures on the podium, you know, at the end.
What's the difference?
Because
you just got your medal?
Yeah, I got the result. So, like, my philosophy, except for now with this balance board thing, but I just wanted to do that as kind of an experiment, is I don't like to post the intentions. I like to post the results. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, how many times have you seen somebody?
How's that any different than people just looking for admiration? You're just looking for admiration for achieving a goal.
No, that's not what it is. It has nothing to do with that. Have you ever seen people post pictures of their food and say, "All right, I'm back on the wagon.
Right.
I'm gonna get in shape this
Food
year."
bloggers.
No. I'm talking about guys who are like trying to get in shape.
The fit people.
And then I go, dude, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't post that stuff. Then I'll write them. I wouldn't post that stuff because when you start eating Apple Jacks and grilled cheese
People
again,
call you out.
People are going to call you out.
It's see, like, I get it, and I don't disagree with you, but I think that's a lot of people looking for some form of what's the word? Not affirmation. Like, they're based, like, they want that. They need to have the ability to get called out for it. What the fuck is the word?
Accountability?
Accountability. They want the accountability.
These people don't even care about the accountability.
Right, but I think it's to put the facade up of accountability.
Yeah, well,
and then the other half is really like, oh, look at me, I'm making. It's like new year, new me.
Yeah.
Like, no, new year, same douchebag.
And what I like to show by showing the picture on the podium is accomplishment. So, yes, I won this medal from doing this hard work. Everybody can do this thing, kind of a thing. I'm not looking for admiration. I just, I'll post the accomplishment, not the
I get it.
Not the process.
I get it. For me, I'm more of like, I like the ability to go back and rethink about that moment. So there's like parts of like a match where I'm like, oh fuck, like at that point in time I was doing this and that was going on. This is how I was feeling. So I like that reminiscence of that exact moment, which is why I fucking take photos to begin with. I like that storytelling. I like that reminiscence of it.
Yeah, once I'm done, I'm done.
Because there's photos of it, like when we're training and stuff. How many photos do I have of stuff like from way back? Like I have photos when you got your black belt. Like it's those like I remember exactly what was going on.
Again, that's an accomplishment. I dig that, but I don't. Like I said, I don't like.
You like the destination, not the journey.
Yeah, well, I like to me, the journey should be private, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The journey should be your journey, and
see, but then the caveat to that is you're dealing with the Instagram disease of everybody sees the highlights, nobody sees the hard work. So people see the highlight of you achieving your end goal of that journey, but they don't see the journey that you went on of where like stuff that happened to you in personal life, or maybe the injuries that you fought through, or maybe the the tough day you had in training where you didn't get to really.
But here's the thing, at the end of the day,
you might not care, but you know how you like to do your little inspirational bullshit posts, how some people reach out to you, you don't know that might affect somebody else.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh man, it's so crazy to see someone. Let's say you somehow did have someone that looked up to you for certain aspects of things, right? And they see like, oh shit, I guess Shawn had a bad day too. And Shawn's a fucking great black belt, and he's done this and he's done that, but he has those shitty days too. But I see him as always like a positive person. You don't know how that might click in to somebody else.
Which is what I. If you look at my Instagram and stuff, all I try to do is really post
positive
stuff.
Right. But again, everybody only sees the highlights. I know you. I know the negative stuff that you've had to go through. You don't know how that affects other people
Right.
like negatively. You know what I mean? Like we have one guy in at the academy. I'm not gonna say what happened because it's not my personal business. But he was going through a really life-changing situation, like a really really bad one.
Like Bruce Jenner kind?
No, not that kind of change. Something like really really severe. And I sat there and I said, listen, I can't tell you like that I can relate because I've never had to experience that or anything remotely close to that. What I can tell you is that at one point in my life, I was in a really, really dark hole that I didn't know how to get out of. And the only thing that ever sat there and made any sense to me was to keep working. I didn't sit there and cry. I didn't sit there. Like, I had my moments where I got depressed and I'd cry this, that, and the other. But what always stuck to me was the phrase, chop wood, carry water. Where as long as you keep busy, like the work's always going to get done. Keep on getting the work done. Everything else will figure itself out. So when people ask me, like, how are you always so busy? It's like, I have my own shit too that I got to deal with. But chop wood, carry water, keep fucking moving. Everything else will work itself out. Some things might change, some things might not change. But if you let it stop you from getting your work done, from getting into that routine, like you might not go to jiu-jitsu as much, or you might not go to, out with your friends, or you might not finish that project that you were working on. That's going to make shit worse because then you're going to sink into that quicksand. So for me, it's like I get it, like where you're coming from, but some people need that motivation on the negative aspect of things. Like I deal with that too.
Yeah, I think there's already enough of that shit out there.
There's a lot of negativity out there. I think it's the fact that people don't want to feel alone. They don't want to feel alone in that.
I'll tell you what I'm surprised about. I am truly surprised at how many people put their personal like stuff out for the world to see on Instagram, like when they go through like divorces or depressions or like just like all kinds of like problems, and they post it on baffles me that people put that stuff out there.
Some people do it for a cry of help, and other people just do it for the attention. Majority are gonna just do it for attention.
Yeah, it's just, but even still, it's like I can't believe you're putting this out there, like talking about their wife cheating on them or their or their kid doing drugs. I'm
a lot of people are
keep that stuff in house, man.
No, man. A lot of people live in that woe is me like mentality. Listen, I can tell you from when I did a lot of the band stuff and I had to deal with their fan relations where I had to answer the fans or whatever posts that they have online. Man, some of the shit that I fucking read and some of the stuff that people are willing to put out there to either get some kind of attention or some kind of like message, it's like it's just attention. It's everybody just wants attention. At the end of the day, people want attention. People want to feel like they're getting looked at or they're either special or they want someone to... How many people ask for fucking advice and then they never take it?
99% of people.
That's why I don't fucking bother with that. I don't bother with that. If I ever ask you for advice, chances are it's like, okay, like, what do you think, Shawn? With this, and this? All right, cool. I'll think about it, and then I'll do a mixture of everything that I heard.
You know when you end up taking advice from people is when you don't solicit it. They just say something that like hits home, and you're like, okay, yeah. That's that. You know what? That's a great point. I'm gonna do that. But like not like, oh, I have this problem, I need your advice. It's more like you're just talking to a dude and they say something that just resonates clicks. And you're like, oh, all right, yeah.
No, that like, man, like I can't think of how many times I went through some like fucking just dark shit and like I was just in a really bad spot and I was really trying to figure out my world and my universe of where I'm at mentally, like, and then just kind of paying attention to everything else and talking to people here and there, and that resonates for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it why you put it that way, but again, everybody only sees the highlights. They don't see all the fucking hard work. They don't see all the other stuff. People like, how many people knew that your back was fucked up and you didn't get to roll for a year? Not many.
Not many.
But how many people have you told and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Like I'm going through that too. Blah blah blah.
2 years I haven't competed because of my back.
I did. Well, I had 8 months where I couldn't walk straight because of my hip, because I ripped my groin muscle. So I definitely I get it, but it sucks when it's like you don't compete a lot to begin with, but the competitions you do are pretty big. So it's like fuck, really?
Yeah, I always did 3 to 4 a year.
Yeah, but you never did anything small. You never did I'm gonna do new breed or something.
I did it once in a while.
Yeah.
But the problem with New Breed is it's so poorly run.
Yeah.
That
Supposedly they gotten better at it.
That's what everybody keeps saying, but every time I go,
it's always a shit show.
It's always a shit show. And look, I'm all for grappling companies making it. I want them to make it. It gives us a showcase. The other thing that I don't like about New Breed is they charge you to get in.
Well, a lot of people are doing that now.
IBJJF doesn't.
Yes, they are. Yep. They did for the last one.
Which one?
For the last Miami, they charged.
Did I go to the last Miami?
Nope. I know you didn't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, they're charging people now.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, they're charging people. Even for the Orlando one, they're charging people, spectators. I think it's like $10-15.
That's crazy.
It's stupid. It's stupid. It's just a money grab. It's just a money grab. Like there's no reason. If my son paid $120 to compete at your thing, don't charge me another $10, because you get nothing out of my extra $10.
Right.
You get nothing out of it. That $120 should pay for my entry fee. That's it. Like you don't have to pay. I think they're looking at it. It's like, oh well, what about a high school football game? Like you have to pay to get in.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay for the kids' uniforms.
Yeah, you do.
You have to pay for their uniforms now?
You pay, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay for them to play football.
No, but you pay for the cleats and you pay for this.
But that's different. That's because you buy your own gi.
Right,
it's
but
not like they give you a gi.
The difference is that's going to a school, that's going to the team, that's going to go whatever. That money doesn't go to your son's jiu-jitsu school. That goes straight to New Breed, and then you got to go buy a shirt for $30. IBJJF doesn't even offer people to buy shirts unless you're going to Worlds or Masters or something like that, where they sell all the old shirts.
Yeah.
But you go to Miami Open, Orlando Open, they're not going to have a booth. They don't even have an acai booth anymore. The only booth that they'll have is they have a table outside with fucking
hot dogs and
hot dogs, shitty Kirkland burgers, and those orange crackers.
Yeah. No, I think it's bullshit. I understand people making money, but if you're not making enough money from your entrance, from the people that are entering your
I don't know if
competition.
I think they bank. If you think about it.
No, I do. I believe so too.
There's how many tournaments usually every weekend? 3, 4 IBJJF tournaments every weekend.
I don't.
How many people do you think sign up for IBJJF?
I would say at least at the minimum 100 competitors. At the minimum, at the smaller shows.
No. Miami Open. How many total competitors do you think there are?
500, maybe.
500. All right, so let's do the math. So
that's 50 grand.
500 people at 120, because it's 120, right? $60,000.
Yeah.
To rent the venue, 10 grand. Because I know that for a fact. It's 10 grand to rent it out. All right, so now you got 50. Now you got to pay people. Every one of those people there, because the scorekeepers aren't going to get paid. They get free entry. The refs are going to get paid what? $200?
No, 150 at the most.
So there's how many?
10 to 15.
10. No, there's probably.
So let's just say the other costs are another 10 grand.
All right. So now you have $40,000. Airfare for the refs and this, that, and the other, shipping and everything. You probably net $30,000, right? You come out with $30,000 minimum. I would say 30 to 40,000 is what they come out for each show. So now you're making 40,000 times 4. Was that 180, $160,000?
120.
120? No, 4. 4. 160,000.
Oh, I thought you said 3 or 4.
So $160,000 you're making a weekend. Now, granted, international shows are a little bit tougher, but they probably have a way of funneling the money into their Brazilian account for the Brazil stuff, U.S. account for here, European account there. They do some wire
No,
transfers.
I know they're making money. Don't get me wrong.
They're making fucking buku bucks.
Right. So the fact that they're now trying to nickel and dime people for entry is bullshit.
And then they still don't want to sit there and pay people for winning, like pay the right amount.
If they gave 10 grand away, so that if they did like, well, even if they gave 5 and 5 to the black female and male black belt winners, and then like 3 and 3 for the second place, and then 1 and 1, or even if they did 2 and 2, that's another 20 grand.
Even if they did
that's a lot when
$500 for everyone under black belt, and they won, like adults, not kids. Kids, I don't think you should pay. Like maybe I think the best thing would do if you win first place, you get your entrance fee back. That's kind of fair, right? Wouldn't you consider that fair?
If you win gold, that would be cool.
Or maybe you get next year's free.
Yeah.
Why not? That sounds pretty fair, right? Because now you're giving them a reason to come back next year.
No, then people are going to come back anyways. They don't have to incentivize it.
No, but you get the blue belt.
It would be nice.
Yeah, you get the blue belt blues. You ain't gonna come back for a while.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's bullshit. I
110% agree with you that I think it's bullshit, and I've been one of the biggest complainers about it. But don't fucking sit there and charge people all this extra money and then not give people an incentive. Like, why would you do that? That's stupid. Well, that just becomes control. IBJJF is lucky that, one, they were one of the first ones to do it, and number two is that everybody else is a shit show of a businessman. EBI fucked it up because EBI was going to do local tournaments. Metamoris fucked it up way beyond recognition for multiple reasons because they were supposed to be the Metamoris local tournaments. I think they did like a handful of them. New Breed is just pandering to the mom and pop, so they're just going to be the low level.
Whatever happened to 5? Everyone said 5 grappling was awesome.
5 grappling was good, and I think they do small ones like here and there, but they were just very small. They never trying to do anything big. They were in-house tournaments. So there was never anything big. ACBJJ, right? That was just a Russian mob thing, and
I've never even heard of it.
Yes, you have. We've talked about it before. Like, it's the ones that were like in Russia. They had one stack card in Brazil at one point that was like insane, just huge, big names. Who else? Who else do we have out there? Naga was
Whatever happened to Naga?
So Naga was based out of like New Jersey,
New York.
and
I heard he lost a lot during Sandy.
So when they had Sandy flooded their office and just completely wrecked it, and they were MIA for a couple of years, and they never really. They were aimed at the MMA, like street thuggish kind of guys, like back in the day.
The first few tournaments I did were Nagas.
Right. But they never really tried to get out of that image. They wanted to keep that image. It was like, oh, come in. It's like whoever runs it. ADCC is slowly working up there, but obviously they're trying to get more.
Yeah, but I don't know if I like their system of not having coaches.
What, like no one's allowed to coach?
Yeah.
I like it.
Personally, I don't mind it.
Listen, if anyone had to deal with people not coaching them in tournaments, it's fucking me. And I am okay with it.
No, what I'm saying is there are people that need coaching.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't think, I don't like the fact that they don't allow that if somebody needs that.
Right.
So,
I get it, but I think because of the prestigeness of ADCC, I think that's probably a good thing. It's a completely different tournament with completely different rules, and I completely am okay with it. Listen, you get into a street fight, what's going to happen? Someone's going to say, like, fuck him up, Daryl. Fuck him up. Fuck him up, Daryl.
It's
like,
different, though, when it's a sport and there's somebody else that's just as skilled.
Again, and then at the end of the day, it really comes down to a one-on-one. How good are you compared to how good that person is? Who's trained the most? Who's got the most skill? So it's a different setup. But I mean, what else do we have? What else is there? Then there's that SFJJ, the one that Breakpoint started up that doesn't really work, where they got called out for favoritism and trying to scam people. Did you see that one?
No.
So I'm pretty sure it was like SFJJ or something like that, or NMJJ. Breakpoint put together these tournaments. They're kind of like new breedish tournaments, and they were getting accused that they were forcing people or claiming that people's gis didn't
meet their requirements.
Didn't meet the requirements. But lucky for you, Breakpoint has a booth right there, and they're running a sale. Why don't you run over there and get a gi real quick and come back? And they did that to a ton of people. So it's like, it does seem kind of sketchy. And they denied it up and down, and then all of a sudden it stopped happening. But it's not a big tournament, and they only do it over there. I can't think of any. What other tournaments are there? There's the MMACC or MACC, whatever here, where they pay people for a couple of matches.
And in wrestling, we called it alphabet soup.
Right.
Saying, well, it's just going to be some other
random letters.
3 letters together. Yeah. So it's like, who cares? It's all the same. You're seeing the same people.
And then you have high rollers just trying too much of a niche. Not everybody wants to smoke weed and go do that, whatever. I don't like some of their stuff to begin with for personal reasons. You have the Substars now, which I haven't seen it in person yet, so I'll see it next week and I'll give you guys my opinion.
Where's it at? In Tampa?
No, Miami.
Miami.
The one in Tampa is with Gilbert against Craig Jones, which, again, I'm totally surprised because Craig Jones is fucking big. So I don't know how that's going to play out. I can't think of any other tournaments, really. The UAEJJ, which is okay. Obviously, it's pandering more.
I also seen NABJJ, North American.
I think it's the Breakpoint one. I think that's still Breakpoint.
Yeah.
And there's the BJJ Tour, which is still IBJJF, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
There's the other one. The one that's coming down is IBJJF.
I don't even know, dude.
So, yeah, it's just a bunch of them. So
people are asking me questions about this stuff. I go, dude, I don't know. I'm so out of loop, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I go, if there's a tournament coming up, if it's IBJJF, I'll do it. Why? There's only one reason why I do IBJJFs over the other ones.
So you can get the points to go compete at the Worlds.
No, I don't need to do that for Masters.
Oh, yeah?
It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact, and this is the God's honest truth, it runs on time. If they tell you your match is going to be at 1:30,
yeah,
your match is, give or take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, either way.
100%, I agree with it, and I think that's the biggest issue. It's like, listen, time, let's fucking go. Like, your match just got called. If I was the ref, it'd be like, I'm giving you a 15-second counter. 15, 14. If you're at the bathroom taking a shit, I don't care. You should have shat like an hour ago before you get called to the bullpen. Let's go. Because when I did the BJJ tour or whatever a couple of weeks ago, my name was called, and within 2 minutes, I was on the mat. And that was from bullpen. From bullpen to that, maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Total. It's like, go, go, go. But, again, they left us in the dark as to what the time was. They called us at the bullpen at 1 or 2, and I competed at, like, 2:45. So it was really like the TV said 2 o'clock for all blue belts, but then it didn't call me until, like, 2:45. But yeah, the day that someone finally gets their shit together on a good
I'll do those tournaments. I'm easy to please. Make sure you run on time. That's it.
Yeah.
If you tell me I'm going to compete at this time, I want to compete at that time. I don't want to go there and sit there for 12 friggin' hours. Wait, and I've done that at New Breed.
Yeah, no, we've done it. We've done it where we sat there the entire fucking day. And then they're literally wrapping up the mats, and we're still waiting for some of our people to get called.
I wonder if Wagner's going to run again.
I think so. I remember talking to him about it, and he said he was planning something else out again. But then he was dealing with the with the different tournaments and stuff. I'm actually going to go check out his new gym on Thursday. I got to go film him for Polaris. So that's another thing. If you guys
heard it's nice.
It looks nice. I've seen a couple of shots and stuff. It looks really, really fucking nice. Super happy for him because I know he's been working for it forever. So it looks super clean. But if you didn't follow me on Sunder Marketing over the last week, you missed out a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I got to hang out with a lot of my friends like Robin Van Roosmalen, Shawn Soriano, Ong Lang Sang, the 2-time 1FC champion. We're all back there. There was a lot of people back there and stuff. Frank the Tank from Titan FC, he was out there too. I haven't seen him in like 2 years. And Juan, shout out to Juan. I saw Juan. Juan. But yeah, there was a lot of cool people, man. But follow me. Thursday, I'll be at Wagner's filming. I'm sure a bunch of people will show up now just because they're going to see themselves on camera. I always get shit like, oh, bro, why do you always put like my bad stuff when I get my ass kicked?
Because that's what you're doing.
Don't get your ass kicked. Listen, I'm just filming. I'm not dictating what's going on here. I'm not editing to make you look bad. I'm just editing what is going on. That's all.
Are you going to go up for the kickboxing tournament?
I've tried to because I stayed at the same hotel. Excuse me. I stayed at the same hotel Thursday, Friday, and it's so fucking nice. I love that hotel. It's expensive, though.
Which one?
The Hyatt Regency. That's where we were last year.
Oh, is that where we were last year?
Yeah. Same hotel. But you didn't stay at that one. You stayed down the street, right?
No, we stayed there.
The first year you and I went together.
We stayed down
the street.
Down the street.
Yeah. And but no, and then last year we stayed there. Yeah. Oh, you want a room?
We already got a room.
Oh, you don't want to be roomies?
I got Lee got a room for him and I and
thanks. Appreciate
Boomer. Dude, you haven't been coming around at all.
Your cell phone still worked last time I checked.
Don't know what your plan is. We're not going to call you to find out if you want to stay in a hotel room a month and a half from now.
Why wouldn't you? But you're going to text Boomer and everybody else.
No, Boomer and Lee made the plans to go, and he goes, "Do you want a room with us?" I'm like, "Yes." I don't
And
need
so you didn't say, "Hey, Alex will probably need a room too." See? All right.
Fuck you.
So I guess I'm not going then.
Guess you're not going.
And if you guys don't want me there, I'm not going to go then. No, I stayed up there. It was cool. It was definitely, I love that hotel. And it's expensive, but it's fairly cheap considering the service and stuff that you get.
That pool is rad.
Where they really fuck you, though, is where they charge you $27 a night
to park your car.
It's like, bro, I'm already paying $150. Don't fucking charge me an extra $30. That's kind of bullshit.
It's not that easy to get to either, to tell you the truth.
It's kind of awkward in between exits and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, to get out is a bitch, too. But they actually built a lot of stuff.
Is it there again this year? Is that where it is?
Pretty sure. I don't see why they.
Because it was at the DoubleTree the year before.
Yeah.
And then it was there last year.
I'll tell you right now. I'll look it up.
Yeah, we're talking kickboxing on Jiu-Jitsu Radio.
Yeah, we were talking about Glory Kickboxing before too.
No, I'm just saying.
Let's see, IKF Orlando.
We're bringing a crew with us.
Yeah, you guys got a bunch of people. Survey says, oh, it's August 2, 3, and 4. I thought it was after that. Nope, Hyatt Regency Orlando.
Yep.
That's the one. Yeah, I definitely want to come up for that. Wait, June, July. I don't know if I can afford it because I'm going to be up in Orlando the weekend before
for the
tournament.
Well, I
don't want to ride up there and come back like I did last time.
Are you? Do you know what you're doing for where you're staying up there? Because I'm thinking about getting a house on Airbnb
for the tournament.
Yeah, because I got Erica, Calvin, and Jacob doing the tournament, and me. So there's going to be 4 of us. So I was thinking about getting a house on Airbnb for that weekend if you want in.
I mean, tell me how much it is. I'll let you know.
Well, yeah.
The truth is,
it'll be like if I can get a nice house and it'll be like, $30 to $50 each per night. Which
if I have my own room, sure. If I have my own room, sure. Like as much of like it's gonna make me sound like a dick, to be honest. Before a competition like that, like I'm still friendly and stuff like that, but I need my sleep, and I kind of get antisocial. Where it's like, just leave me the fuck alone. I just want to like sleep. So like I hate rooming up with people that I've never been around with before, like in that situation, because then you don't know how some people are gonna be.
Well, you're a weirdo, and you wouldn't sleep in the bed with me that one.
Bro, that was
It was a king-size bed.
No, man. All right, let's be honest here. So, Shawn and I drove up there. We actually did the podcast on the road to go up there 2 years ago. And is it 10:59 already?
10:59.
Damn, that went by quick. I just looked at it. It was like 10:30. Shawn and I went up there, and we were there just one day, right?
Can't remember if it was one or two.
No, we came back to second day. We just spent that one night there. We drove up there Saturday, spent the night, and drove back Sunday. So Saturday night, we get a relatively cheap hotel room, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep on the floor. I was kind of broke then too, so I didn't have the money to chip in for a bigger room, and there wasn't any other room too. I remember everything was pretty booked up.
Yeah, it was.
And Shawn's like, "Oh, just share the bed with me." Like, number one, no fucking way, because I can't stand the sound of that fucking thing that you use, the sleep apnea mask. To me, like, any sound at night, it just sounds like a fucking train. Two, you had the worst fucking gas that day, too.
I don't know. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, you did. Because I remember...
It might have been bad in the car up, but I took a dump.
Yeah,
and then
that whole room
fine.
stunk the entire
and
fucking night.
Yeah, right when
and then the next morning, you said, "Bro, great call on not sharing the bed with me because I was farting up a storm all night and my bed smells like shit."
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't
100% you said that.
The only thing I remember was going to Hogan's place.
Yeah. I didn't get to stop by here this time around.
The place is awesome.
It was so fucking good. I'm definitely going to go back there again. You know what they had up there, too, when I was up there this past weekend? They had a Halo Odyssey convention there. So Microsoft rented out the giant spot at Shingle Creek Convention Center. It's just like a hotel right next door. And they had a huge thing for Halo. So they had people that worked on Halo, that did the soundtrack, it cast the characters, everything. It was a huge thing for St. Jude's. And I met one of the guys that had a booth there, and it was like $60. I wanted to go so bad, but
yeah,
like, I'm a fan of Halo, but I was never
not that big.
Never that big. But and plus I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna.
Let me guess, are you Master Chief? No, wait, are you Master Chief? I mean, who are you gonna be?
Well, no, you know, the voice of Master Chief. If you want to see something funny, actually watch the interviews of the cast and characters for Red Dead Redemption 2. It's pretty fucking funny, and people like are so into the characters and the story. So the bad characters, whatever, people that play the voice of the bad characters.
Oh, you said they're getting hate.
They're getting hate, like,
tweets.
Fuck you, I can't believe you did that to him. Like, it's like, bro, it's a story. Like, that wasn't me.
Did you watch any of the Stranger Things yet?
I still haven't watched 2 or 3. I saw the Lego version of it. It's pretty cool.
What did it do? What was it? The Upside Down, or was it?
It was both.
Demogorgon.
No, both actually. So it almost looks like a tree house. So the house is up top, and they had some upside down stuff. But under it, the Demogorgon was like sitting there hanging there. It was a pretty cool setup. And they had this is the funny shit. They had a Jurassic Park one, fucking big. They had the gate. It was like a solid like 2 feet tall kind of thing, right? So there you get the T-Rex, and then you get the giant Jurassic Park gate. But if you go to the back, you see the back of the gate, and in the arches or the posts that hold the door up, you see there's like a toilet. And someone put like a toilet up there, and then they have like a little kitchen and like random eggs and stuff. It's pretty funny. It's like little like Easter eggs and stuff. But no, I definitely let me know about the other room. I'm down for it. I think we'll call it a night. It's kind of late. Got anything else to say?
Nope.
Definitely check out Sonder Marketing. I'm going to be posting up a bunch of photos. Shout out to all of our friends out on Reddit land and everyone that's supporting the podcast. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and iTunes and everywhere else. Follow me at Sonder Marketing. Follow Jiu-Jitsu Radio. Follow Shawn at Gorilla Boy BJJ. And with that airplane noise, I think we are out.
Peace.